Good afternoon. This is Akashvani and I'm Abhishek Mukhopadhyay with the Midday News. The headlines. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar says resilience, innovation, cooperation and sustainability will be the key priorities of India's chairship of BRICS 2026. Indian Army Chief General Upendra Dwivedi calls Operation Sindoor best example of tri-services synergy, reiterates any misadventure from Pakistan will be dealt effectively. Home Minister Amit Shah stresses India will emerge as the world's third largest economy by the end of next year. NIA takes over probe into illegal Bangladeshi infiltration case from Delhi police, agency registers FIR. And India Open Badminton tournament begins at Indira Gandhi Indoor Stadium in New Delhi. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar has stressed that resilience, innovation, cooperation and sustainability will be the key priorities during India's chairship of BRICS 2026. Speaking at the launch of logo, theme and website for the BRICS summit, Mr. Jaishankar said these priorities will provide a coherent framework across the grouping's three foundational pillars: political and security, economic and financial, and cultural and people-to-people exchanges. The minister said India will seek to bring together the potential of BRICS countries for the greater global welfare during the summit.
India approaches its chairship with a humanity-first and a people-centric approach, inspired by the guidance of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Our chairship theme, Building for Resilience, Innovation, Cooperation and Sustainability, reflects our belief that cooperation among BRICS members can help address shared challenges in a balanced and in an inclusive manner.
The minister said over the years, BRICS has expanded its agenda and membership. He highlighted that forum responded to changing global realities while remaining focused on people-centric development, fostering dialogue and promoting practical cooperation.
In 2026, BRICS will complete 20 years since its inception, during which it has steadily evolved into a significant platform for cooperation among emerging markets and developing economies. Over the years, BRICS has expanded its agenda and membership, responding to changing global realities while remaining focused on people-centric development, fostering dialogue and promoting practical cooperation.
Indian Army Chief General Upendra Dwivedi has said that Operation Sindoor was the best example of tri-services synergy with full freedom to act and respond. He said the operation remains ongoing and any misadventure by the adversary will be dealt with effectively. Addressing a press conference in New Delhi today, General Dwivedi said a clear decision to respond decisively was taken at the highest level following the Pahalgam terror attack. He said Operation Sindoor reset strategic assumptions by striking deep, dismantling terror infrastructure and puncturing the long-standing nuclear rhetoric. The Army Chief said the armed forces successfully destroyed 7 out of the 9 targets and played a pivotal role in ensuring a calibrated response to Pakistan's actions.
Our army-based workshop, which played a key role during Operation Sindoor, have been reoriented from being repair facilities to research and development cum production-oriented hubs. Atmanirbharta in ammunition, we are proud to say that 159 out of 175 ammunition categories Indian Army holds have been fully indigenized, that is over 90%.
General Dwivedi said that since the 10th of May, the situation along the Western Front and Jammu and Kashmir remains sensitive but firmly under control. He highlighted that 31 terrorists were eliminated last year, of which 65% were of Pakistan origin. He also said that the situation on the Northern Front remains stable but needs constant vigil.
In 2025, 31 terrorists were eliminated, of which 65% were Pakistan origin, including the 3 perpetrators of the Pahalgam attack neutralized in Operation Mahadev. A positive change in J&K include robust development activity, revival of tourism and peaceful Sri Amarnath Yatra, which saw more than 4 lakh pilgrims exceeding the 5-year average. The theme of terrorism to tourism is gradually taking shape.
Defence Minister Rajnath Singh today addressed the inaugural ceremony of the multi-speciality Joint Services Medical Camp in Lakshadweep through video conference. Speaking on the occasion, the Defence Minister said this large-scale medical camp, being organised by the Indian Navy, highlights the government's commitment to bringing quality healthcare closer to citizens in remote areas.
भारतीय नौसेना एक मल्टी स्पेशलिटी मेडिकल कैंप का आयोजन कर रही है.
The large-scale medical camp being organized by the Indian Navy highlights the government's commitment to bringing quality health care closer to citizens in remote areas. Comprehensive screening, early diagnosis, timely medical advice, medical interventions, and free distribution of medicines would contribute to long-term health benefits for the island community.
कि लॉन्ग टर्म हेल्थ में सुधार आएगा.
Home and Corporation Minister Amit Shah has stressed that the country will emerge as the world's third largest economy by the end of next year. He was addressing a public meeting at his native town Mansa in Gandhinagar district after launching and inaugurating development projects worth over 267 crore rupees. Mr. Shah said the government is committed to making India a global leader in every sector by the year 2047. On the occasion, he described the Somnath temple as a symbol of country's identity and self-respect. He added that the government will celebrate the Somnath Swabhiman Parv throughout the year to showcase the temple's 1,000-year-old glorious history and to pass on this legacy of self-respect to future generations. Mr. Shah said Ahmedabad is emerging as a new global hub for sports and the efforts underway to host the 2036 Olympic Games in the city. He urged local athletes to take full advantage of the newly constructed sports complex in Mansa. Minister of State for Personnel and Public Grievances and Pensions Dr. Jitendra Singh today said that Viksit Bharat Ji Ramji Act guarantees 125 days of wage employment per rural household in each financial year from the earlier 100 days. Addressing a press conference on Viksit Bharat Ji Ramji in New Delhi today, the minister said that the scheme also provides an aggregated 60-day no-work period to ensure the availability of agricultural labour during peak sowing and harvesting season. The minister said that going digital will help in curbing the ghost beneficiaries under the scheme.
वर्किंग डेज थे जो 100 हुआ करते थे उसको 125 किया.
The scheme also provides an aggregated 60-day no-work period to ensure the availability of agriculture labor during peak sowing and harvesting season. The act represents a convergence of various public works with a primary focus on water security and rural infrastructure. Going digital will help in curbing the ghost beneficiaries under the scheme.
हम इसको डिजिटल मींस के साथ जोड़ेंगे.
The government has provided incentives to more than 13,61,000 electric vehicles so far under the Production-Linked Incentive PLI Auto Scheme. The Heavy Industries Ministry said the scheme offers incentives ranging from 13 to 18% for electric vehicles and hydrogen fuel cell components and 8 to 13% for other advanced automotive technology components. This is Akashvani giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on X handle at AIR News Alerts. And for details of stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.gov.in and download News on AIR app. The National Investigation Agency has taken over the probe into a major illegal Bangladeshi immigration racket that was earlier being investigated by the Delhi Police Special Cell. Officials confirmed that the NIA has registered a fresh FIR after formally assuming charge of the case last week. The agency has begun its investigation and is expected to expand the scope of the probe by tracing the entire syndicate involved and following the money trail linked to the network. The takeover follows directions from the Minister of Home Affairs to crack down on organized networks, facilitating illegal immigration and posing potential security threats. Vice President C.P. Radhakrishnan today said that the vision of a Viksit Bharat can only be realized when the youth of the country is drug-free, healthy and purpose-driven. Mr. Radhakrishnan said this while addressing University of Delhi's drug-free campus campaign in the national capital. The Vice President said that the campaign aligns strongly with the government's Nasha Mukt Bharat Abhiyan. He underlined that substance abuse is a social challenge, a public health concern and a threat to country's demographic dividend.
Use of drugs by the youngsters. But today it is the need of the hour that we all must work together. Not only we keep ourselves free from drugs, we should not allow our friends, relatives, whomever we know, they should not get influenced by the drugs. That is the ultimate aim of ours today.
The Supreme Court today questioned the conduct of the people and the organizations feeding stray dogs in public places, asking whether compassion is limited to animals and not extended to humans. The court raised concerns of accountability, asking who would be responsible if a child were killed in a stray dog attack. During the hearing, senior advocate Arvind Datar said the animal birth control rules focus mainly on sterilization and do not adequately address aggressive dogs or eliminate the risk of attacks. Senior advocate Vikas Singh urged the court not to frame the issue as humans versus dogs, stressing the need to maintain ecological balance. The Supreme Court has been hearing the matter as a suo motu case since July last year. Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnav participated in the critical minerals ministerial meeting hosted by United States Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent in Washington, D.C. today. The meeting focused on strengthening global supply chains for critical minerals, including rare earth elements. On the occasion, Mr. Vaishnav said this is very important for countries like India, where manufacturing, especially electronics, is growing quickly.
As we all know, and especially in India, when the manufacturing sector is growing rapidly, especially electronics manufacturing, it's very important for all the countries, including India, to have a resilient supply chain of critical minerals. It was a very positive meeting in which the thought process was to improve the quality and availability of critical minerals.
German Chancellor Friedrich Merz arrived in Bengaluru today. Large and Medium Industries Minister of Karnataka M.B. Patil received him at the airport along with senior officials. During his visit to the IT city, Mr. Merz is scheduled to visit the Indian headquarters of the German tech major Bosch. He is also visiting the Center for Nanoscience and Engineering at the Indian Institute of Science before emplaning from Bengaluru. In a social media post, Minister M.B. Patil has said that the visit of the Chancellor Merz to Bengaluru will further strengthen relations with Germany and advance the shared vision for growth, innovation and collaboration. US President Donald Trump has announced that countries continuing to do business with Iran will face a 25% tariff on their trade with the United States as Washington steps up pressure following a deadly crackdown on anti-government protests across the country. Posting on his social media platform, Mr. Trump said the decision will come into effect immediately and described it as final. China remains Iran's largest trading partner, followed by Iraq, the United Arab Emirates, Turkey and India. We have a report.
Iran, a member of OPEC, exported goods to 147 trading partners according to World Bank, with China emerging as its largest trading partner, accounting for about $22 billion in trade, largely driven by fuel exports. With food accounting for roughly one-third of Iran's imports, tighter trade restrictions could deepen shortages and further raise living costs. India's total bilateral trade with Iran stood at $1.34 billion during the first 10 months of 2025, with key Indian exports including basmati rice, fruits, vegetables and pharmaceuticals, placing India among the countries that could be affected by the proposed US measures. This is Vinod Kumar for Akashvani News from Dubai.
The India Open Badminton tournament has started at the Indira Gandhi Indoor Stadium in New Delhi today. Two-time Olympic medalist PV Sindhu will lead India's challenge in the competition. Malvika Bansor and young Tanvi Sharma will also represent India in the women's singles. In the women's doubles, Trisha Jolly and Gayatri Gopichand will lead the Indian challenge, which has a strong home presence. In the men's singles, Lakshya Sen and Ayush Shetty will face each other in the opening round, meaning only one will progress. Australian women cricket team captain Elisa Healy has announced her retirement from all forms of international cricket ahead of the T20 World Cup 2026. The 35-year-old made the announcement on a podcast, citing mental fatigue and recurring injuries as key reason behind her decision. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar says resilience, innovation, cooperation and sustainability will be the key priorities of India's chairship of BRICS 2026. Indian Army Chief General Upendra Dwivedi calls Operation Sindoor best example of tri-services synergy, reiterates any misadventure from Pakistan will be dealt effectively. Home Minister Amit Shah stresses India will emerge as the world's third largest economy by the end of next year. NIA takes over probe into illegal Bangladeshi infiltration case from Delhi police. Agency registers FIR. And India Open Badminton tournament begins at the Indira Gandhi Indoor Stadium in New Delhi. And with that, we end the Midday News.